I'm Rick with EcoSteps Coatings. Thanks for joining me again. Today I want to talk to you about the difference between a gelled stain and a regular liquid stain. EcoSteps Coatings makes two different types. The regular liquid stain, which most of you are used to, is a real thin viscosity, very skinny, thinner than water type viscosity product. Excellent for spraying on. I showed you in one of the other videos how you can almost shade and tone in gradually with the spray stain in a gun. Or you can simply flood it on the whole surface and come back and wipe it off. Looks great either way. The newer addition, although we've had it out for a while, is the EcoSteps gelled stain. Slightly thicker consistency, not paste-like, but just a thicker, syrupier type consistency. What that does is two things. It enables the product to stay wet longer, go on a vertical surface and cling there without running all over the place. Gives you more open time, and also because of its body, its thickness, it tends not to penetrate so quickly into the grain. So if you're working on something like alder and you're not going to condition it for whatever reason, then you can use the gel stain and that will help minimize. Won't do as much as the conditioning will. You can see in one of the other videos with the conditioning, that makes a huge impact. For whatever reason you can't do that, this is a great alternative for it. I'm going to show you here again. I love using alder because alder tends to blotch pretty significantly. And I can see on this board there's going to be a few blotched areas on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the liquid stain first. Now I will tell you these are not identical colors. This is one of our standard colors, Fresco. This was a color that was just made up, had around in the liquid form. But you will see the difference in terms of the blotching. So I will take a little of this, put it on half of this area. You can see it's a quick drying product, penetrates in on a soft wood like this very quickly. And come back and wipe off the excess. And you can see it blotched out, to be expected. This particular piece of alder I knew was a good one for it because I've used it in past on projects. I knew it blotched pretty good. Now the gel stain, I'm going to load up the sponge and apply similarly. Not as much soaks into the sponge, so you got to put it on a little bit heavier, kind of a mopping it on, if you will. This can be sprayed as well. Let me tilt this up so you can see better. The gelled stain can be sprayed as well. It doesn't spray out evenly. You get some little spits going on. That's no problem. You put it on heavy just in terms of speeding the application process, and then come back and wipe off the excess. So now this one I'm going to take, wipe off the excess, and you can see, although it's still blotched, it's not nearly as severe as this one. And I will again bring this up to the camera. You can see the blotching is not as bad. You still have some along here, but not this big dramatic difference that you're getting along those areas. So that's the difference in terms of the penetrating power between a liquid stain and the gelled stain. The open time on the gelled stain and the vertical cling on it. Put this on heavier here so you see. Kind of dribble it on. You can see, even though we're going to get a little bit of dripping, you can see that's on heavy and you're not getting that big running dripping thing. If I do that same with the liquid stain, by design, it's going to run all over us. There's no way of controlling that. It's the nature of the beast. It does what it's supposed to do. It is production oriented. Gel stain, you got plenty of time to come back, wipe off the excess. It will also do pretty well at bleeding back in. In other words, you missed a spot, you can kind of rub that stain, the gelled stain in, and it tends to make that little spot disappear. So that is it, short and sweet. Gelled stain versus liquid stain, both have their places. You figure out which one's best for you. I'm Rick with EcoSteps Coatings. Thanks.
You tell them no, sir.